Over the years, our family's had a share of health problems.
So prescriptions are a part of our life.
Before we went to the big box store.
We both thought it would help us save. But with the long lines and impersonal service, filling prescriptions became a chore. That's when a friend recommended D&H.
Now Tristan knows our prescriptions. Brenda always helps us find the right vitamins. And after Dad's fall, Monica's been a real expert with all our home medical needs. All without the lines.
Trust and service.
That's our D&H.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Thursday, February the 4th. I have with us today Mel Zelenak, our consumer travel expert.
Hi, Paul.
All-around money man. Good to have you here, Mel. Today we're going to talk about saving money, traveling.
Most of it is. I'm going to clarify a few things or give an update on a few items that we've talked about in the past. You know, one of my favorite topics is dealing with financial planners.
Right.
And I suggest you go to fee-only financial planners if you're going to go to a financial planner.
Now, let me clarify. Mel is a retired professor with the University of Missouri, home economics, and has been dealing with money all your life.
I taught in the financial planning department in that home. It used to be called whatever it was called then.
Yeah.
But, yep.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay. And matter of fact, I had somebody write into me this time asking who are the two people in Columbia who are into fee-only financial planning. And there's only two that I know of. Keep in mind, everybody else is going to be charging you some kind of commission or some kind of extra fee, and that's per year, Paul. Mm-hmm. But these two are working in a fiduciary relationship, and you remember what a fiduciary relationship is.
Yeah, that's where you're paying them to advise you in your best interest.
That's correct. And if you deal with anyone else who is not in a fiduciary relationship, they're going to be called most likely in a suitability relationship with you, which gives them a lot of leeway to determine what they're going to try and promote to you. And that's a very dangerous thing to do because they're getting some kind of commission from that transaction. They may call it commission, they may call it something else, but they're not necessarily looking out for your best interest. You know, you could sue them and whatever, but it's going to be very, very difficult, almost impossible to collect anything from them if you're in this suitability relationship.
Okay.
The two that are in Columbia, we kind of determined probably not say on the air.
Right.
But anybody can email me directly at melscruises@charter.net, and I'd be happy to supply those two names. Now, one other thing I want to mention that may be a more viable option, and it's one that my wife and I do, and we're working directly now through Vanguard. And Vanguard has a fee-only program, and it's virtually new. And they charge what's called 30 basis points, which is, an easy way to say it, is 0.3% of 1% of the total amount that you have invested with them. And they will work solely you'll work with one advisor in a fiduciary relationship with them, and it's the least expensive I've seen. Now, the downside of that one is you're not going to talk directly with that person. You will be assigned to a person, but you won't be talking directly to them because they're going to be in some part of the United States, not here. But they will teleconference with you, for example. But if you want that close contact, face-to-face, you're going to pay quite a bit more, but do go through, in my view, one of those two financial planners in Columbia.
All right, so that's something for you to think about. Now we talk about traveling and how to save money on traveling.
Best deals, and we talked about this earlier, you know when the best deals are to fly, and that's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturdays for U.S. flights. What about international flights, Paul?
I don't know. Not a weekend.
No, that's right. It's usually Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah. It used to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for domestic flights, but now Thursday is kind of an iffy, isn't it?
It gets almost tricky, Paul, because I always check. What I normally do is I check dates around the date I really want to go. Mm-hmm. And invariably, you never know. Sometimes even a Friday is the best deal.
And the one thing you do have to watch out for if you're checking on the airline website, because those computers are very sophisticated. if you keep checking for the same flight over and over again, you're leaving what they call cookies?
Yeah.
You're leaving cookies. They're going to realize that that's the flight you want, and chances of that particular flight fare going down for you are less because you're showing a great deal of interest in it. What I've been doing is checking flights around it, not the particular one that I want.
And I think that's a great idea. Now, also, if you're going with more than one person, and we've talked about this one before.
Yeah, check for only one person.
And do you do that now?
Yes.
Good.
You check for only one person because if there is one of the lowest fares available and then it goes to a higher fare, if you put in 2 people, it's going to give you the higher fare, not the lower one.
Yeah, and you may want to, you'll know it's right on the borderline there. There I might wait a day or two to see if it opens up. Or what we normally do is if my wife and I and our 2 kids are going, or if 2 other persons are going, I'll book, I'll look at 1, then I'll look at 2 if it's the same price. I may want to book there. If I look at 3, then if the fare jumps up for all 3 again, is what would happen. Then I just book the 2. Yeah. And then I wait a little while, and invariably, almost always, we get the lower price. Not always.
It's kind of like it's almost a game or an art that you're playing, but you have to be persistent and check.
You do, and some of the savings is very, very dramatic. I mean, it could be in the hundreds, or on international flights sometimes, believe it or not, it could be thousands of dollars that you're going to save for basically getting the same fare.
Did you, we're almost out of time here,
airline.
But there was one thing I was reading in the paper. United now is going to start giving free pretzels on board.
Wow.
They're making so much money that they're bringing the free, not the free food if you're in coach, but now they're going to start giving free little snacks, and I think they're pretzels.
Yeah, I think they have 2 pretzels per bag.
About a minute and a half. Anything else you want to mention?
If going on international airline websites, and I just found out about this, like the example that I read was on Polish Air. Go to Polish Air, but don't go on the Polish Air US website. Go on the Polish Air Polish website. And believe it or not, you could save several hundreds of dollars by going on the Polish Air. Now, quite obviously, you have to know the language, but there's a fix for that. You go to Google and you get it translated. But you could save, in this case, it was several $100s on a flight over to Poland or over to Europe on Polish Air. And all of them...
Not going to their U.S. website, but their Polish website.
Their hometowns or home
And there's that
country.
much of a difference.
Yes, so give it a try.
We're out of time here, Mel, but if people want more information, they can contact you at...
Mel's Cruises at charter.net.
All right. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks,
Mel Zelenak, retired professor, University of Missouri. We're out of time for today. Tomorrow, Joan Stack will be on. We're talking and dealing with Black History Month. Our program directed by Travis McMillen, Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio is Pat Akers from KBIA. Our floor director is Adam Teater. And our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.